The American Southwest held a town that the rain had forgotten. It was a place of cracked earth, relentless sun, and a wind that carried the soil away in tired brown sighs. This is the story of Leo, a 17-year-old from that town, and the single seed that grew into a movement. Leo's world was defined by dust. His hometown in Arizona wasn't just dry. It was drying up, a modern echo of the old Dust Bowl. The community reservoir was a cracked mud flat. Water restrictions were a permanent fact of life. His father ran a struggling hardware store, where the sale of dust masks and air filters had long since outpaced garden hoses and sprinklers. His mother was an artist of conservation, repurposing every drop of water from showers to sinks to her wilting window boxes. The landscape was a palette of tan and brown, a constant baking reminder of scarcity. Leo had a dream that felt as absurd as rain in July. He wanted to regreen his town. He wanted to see native trees along Main Street and flowering cacti where vacant lots stood barren. When he mentioned it, people smiled with pity. His buddies at school called him Johnny Appleseed as a joke. The local newspaper editor, a weary man, told him, "Kid, this isn't a lack of will. It's a lack of water." The ecology has shifted. Even his father, a practical man, would say, "Leo, we sell shovels, but you can't dig your way to a different climate." The doubt was a weight. One afternoon, defeated, Leo sat on their back porch, staring at the brittle ground. His mother found him there. She didn't offer platitudes. Instead, she pointed to a small, struggling mesquite tree in a corner of their yard, a tree she had nursed for years from a seedling. "See that?" she said. "I didn't wait for the town to water it. I just decided it would live." Every big fix starts with a small, stubborn act of care. Her words weren't a promise of success, but a permission slip to try. The next morning, Leo rode his bike to the edge of town, to a forgotten, sun-baked plot of city land near the old baseball field. It was littered with tumbleweeds and broken bottles. He got down on his knees, cleared a small patch with his hands, and planted a single, hardy Palo Verde seed. He watered it from his half-empty water bottle. It wasn't a grand gesture. It was a whisper. Asterisk, I believe something can grow here. Dot asterisk, every day after school, Leo would return. He planted more seeds: blue Palo Verde, desert willow, creosote bush, using his allowance to buy seed packets from a nursery in the next county. He built simple dew traps from stones and learned about xeriscaping from library books. He collected gray water from his home in jugs. For weeks, nothing. Just him, the hot wind, and the silent, unyielding dirt. The doubt crept back. Maybe the editor was right. Then, a green thread. A tiny, defiant sprout of a Palo Verde broke through the crust. His heart hammered. He took a picture and ran home. His mother smiled. His father, for the first time, looked thoughtfully at the photo and said, "Huh, that's something." That single sprout was a crack in the dam of skepticism. A few kids from the environmental club at his high school, curious about his project, started joining him. They called themselves the Dustbusters. Together, they cleared more litter, planted more native, drought-resistant seeds, and built better water catchment systems from recycled materials. A local landscaper, hearing about them, donated a batch of prickly pear cactus pads. A retired geologist helped them map the land's drainage. Support was no longer a theory. It was a bag of soil, a few hours of labor, a word of advice. The real test came with the first scorching heat wave of summer. The sun was brutal. Some of their young seedlings withered. Leo felt a familiar despair, but this time he had a team. They pooled their knowledge, rigged up shade cloth from old bedsheets, and doubled down on their morning watering rituals. They learned that failure wasn't an end, but a lesson in what the desert would truly tolerate. 1 year from that first seed, the plot was transformed. It wasn't a forest. This was the desert, but it was an asterisk garden asterisk. A low, beautiful tapestry of silvery green creosote, blooming desert willow, and resilient cacti had taken hold. Birds and butterflies had returned. The spot was measurably cooler. The town took notice. The newspaper editor did a follow-up story, not about impossibility, but about initiative. The city council, intrigued, offered them 2 more vacant lots to rehabilitate. 5 years later, Leo was in college studying environmental science, but his legacy was rooted at home. The Dust Busters had evolved into a town-wide nonprofit. Main Street had shade trees. Schools had native plant gardens. The town had adopted a new water-smart landscaping ordinance. It wasn't a miracle. It was a methodology, proven one plot at a time. The landscape was still arid, but it was no longer barren. It was alive on its own terms. Leo's story spread. He was invited to speak to other communities in Nevada, California, New Mexico, places facing the same harsh realities. His message was simple and uniquely American. Don't fight the desert. Partner with it. Don't wait for permission to fix your own corner of the world. The most powerful tool you have is a seed and the stubbornness to plant it. He learned that change isn't a spectator sport. It's a gritty, hands-in-the-dirt process. People will dismiss you. Conditions will resist you. But an idea, paired with consistent action, is the most resilient force on earth. You start by accepting the reality of your soil, your circumstances, your market, your limitations. Then you improve it, inch by inch, with the resources you have, not the ones you wish for. So, what's your vacant lot? What's the patch of dry ground in your life, your career, your community that you've been staring at, thinking it's impossible? Maybe it's starting that side hustle in a crowded market. Maybe it's learning a new skill when everyone says you're too old. Maybe it's bringing an innovative idea to a traditional workplace. Take Leo's lesson. Don't start with a master plan for the entire city. Start with one seed. Your seed, plant it today. Water it with your effort. Protect it from the heat of doubt. Do it again tomorrow. You don't need a crowd cheering you on at the beginning. You just need the courage to be the only one kneeling in the dirt, believing in a green shoot no one else can see yet. Because that's how landscapes change. That's how industries change. That's how lives change. One stubborn person, one small, repeatable act, building into something the wind can no longer blow away. Asterisk, asterisk. Closing. Asterisk, asterisk. If this story planted a seed of motivation in you, do something about it. Subscribe for more stories of grit and vision. But more importantly, share this with one person who needs to hear that their idea, no matter how small, matters. Then go water your own dream. The world is waiting to see what grows.